doing? Okay, it should say recording on everybody's screen. You guys see it?
Yes.
Okay, all right, then it's good. We're recording this on the screen. I just want to make sure because I don't want us to get marked off or something because I did something wrong and stupid. Everyone have a good week?
It's been a rough one.
I know. I can't hardly keep up with all this stuff. And my paper was written while I was sick, so I hope it's okay because it might be jacked up. But I was sick as a dog, and I was trying to write that paper, so I tried to pull it off there. That's why I was late putting it up, and I was sick, and I was like, I'm sorry, y'all. I just can't keep it right now.
I understand.
Yeah, besides getting ready for the conference and everything I have to do with E3 and my job and all the trainings they have me doing for my job and the classes and stuff, I'm getting behind on life. It is really like starting to, I don't know. I'm going to have a panic attack pretty soon.
Trust me, I've been asked to attend so many IAP meetings. I've been behind on my grades. I've been out for the state meeting I was at a couple weeks ago. So it's been.
Goodness. I know. It's been crazy. I have to go to Coastal Carolina to do some interviews on Wednesday, but it's like when they pull me out to do that, then all of my those SIT intervention walkthroughs you have to do, like before a kid can be tested and placed into special ed. You should see the stack of that. That is horrible right now. For like first and second grade, and every time I get done with my work and I'm ready to get down to first and second grade, they're on lunch or recess, and I'm like getting ready to die. I gotta get these done, but when I walk in the door, it's never a good time because everybody bombards me, and I'm gonna end up dying here pretty soon.
Please don't.
I hope not, but I think they're gonna do it because I'm like, I'm not gonna be there Wednesday. Thursday, I have a leadership class. Friday and Saturday, I'm at the conference. So that gives me Monday and Tuesday to get all my work done for the whole week. And I have 10 meetings to get done, coaching walkthroughs. I'm like gonna die. It's like I have enough hours in the day. I sat there and added my hours up because I'm like trying to make a schedule. And I'm like, I don't have enough hours to get everything in. We would have to extend the school day by about 4 hours for me to be able to see everybody and do everything I need to do. And it's just, oh my God. It's gonna have to be a bad week, and I'm gonna end up having to cancel some things, but we will survive.
Yes.
All right. What do you think about our next task? Because the next thing we had to do was, and I don't know if everybody found it. It was this case study. Did you guys find it in there? Can you see?
Okay. Can someone get me up to speed? Because in trying to complete all of the past work that I missed from being sick, had a child hospitalized with the flu, I missed quite a bit. So now we're on task 4, and we were supposed to do the case study, correct?
No, the case study is actually what we're supposed to meet and talk about next week. So I just wanted everybody could find the case study and they knew what we were supposed to meet and do next week. It's case study 1, and it was over on the side of the like where the discussion board and the weekly stuff is. Over on that. Yes. If you go down near the bottom, it says case studies.
Okay, going on down. I'm with you. Case study materials. Okay.
Yeah. And then if you open that up, it's
case study 1, right?
Because I already printed mine. It was a directions, and then we have case study 1. So
got it.
What we're supposed to do when I read the directions, and I think I'm right. Don't, if I'm wrong, then they can slap me for it. I'm used to it now with my job at work. We're supposed to read through this, and there's 4 questions at the bottom of the case study. So if you go to case study 1, there's 4 questions. So we are supposed to answer these 4 questions. Go through and type a paragraph answer because it says read the case study and write a 1-paragraph response to the questions. So we're supposed to write a 1-paragraph response to 1 to 4, and then I'll send out a Zoom master link, and then we're supposed to have a discussion of questions 1 to 4, and then write a 1-paragraph reflective summary on our session.
Okay, let me get this straight, Jennifer. Let me get this straight.
Okay, yeah, recap me to make sure I'm straight.
So after we read the case study, we're responding to the discussion questions at the bottom, 1 through 4.
Yes.
And then we're going to write a 1-page paragraph reflection on what our group discussed.
That's what I get, because it says during the Zoom case study Zoom question, each member shares their written response and the group engages in a scholarly discussion of the responses led by the Zoom master. Group consensus is desirable but not required of the scholarly discussion. Then number 4 says each state will write a 1-page part 2 reflective summary of both the case study and the case study Zoom session. The case study part of the reflective summary will include an overview of the reflective points of the case. The case study Zoom session part of the reflective summary will include the takeaways from the scholarly discussion.
Okay, all right, so we have to write one, because, okay, according to the directions, we're writing a 1-paragraph response to each question.
The questions 1 to 4.
Then we're going to do a paragraph on our reflection from our actual scholarly case study review within our Zoom.
Yeah, it says a 1-page, 2-part reflective summary. So I guess it's the reflective summary of the case study, and then a reflective summary of the Zoom takeaways. So it kind of needs to have 2 parts, one of the study, another of the Zoom discussion. And from what I get, that's supposed to be about a page.
Got it.
Is there any way, I hate to do this to y'all, but I'm going to be late coming back from Coastal after the interviews. Thursday, I got to drive to Charleston, and Friday and Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be at that conference. Is there any way we can meet and do this on Tuesday?
Just coming Tuesday?
Yes, I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay, Tuesday, and we're looking at
just this case study was what we'd have to go over on Tuesday. Would be reading.
Tuesday.
Okay.
And the case study isn't that long. It's only 2 pages of reading because I typed it. I have the printout. It's 2 pages, and that includes the 4 questions at the bottom of the page.
Okay.
Okay, what time are we looking at Tuesday?
Do we want to do 6:30? I mean, is that okay with Darlene? Because she's the one that has the internet issues with the school.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if Darlene is on the chat. She didn't say anything.
She hasn't said anything yet. I see her name.
Darlene, is Tuesday okay? I'm gonna send a message in the chat to her.
Oh, there she is.
I'm here. I'm just like, I looked terrible this morning. I had a rough day yesterday. So
Oh, I know you had surgery. It's fine. Trust me. I still wear my pajamas. I have my cup of coffee, and I haven't even brushed my hair, man. This is just me rolling up out of bed. So if y'all are like repulsed by it, I'm sorry. It's me rolling up out of bed after all night. It's life.
Mm-hmm.
as well. But Tuesday should work. The earlier the better for me.
Okay.
So I can do.
Okay, 6:30 will be ideal. I would do earlier, but I facilitate our after-school program that tutors, and I have to be there until buses get back. So 6:30 is a perfect time. It gives me time to drive from school to home in traffic.
Okay, so we're looking at 6:30, and I will send that Zoom link out to y'all, okay, for the case study.
Got it.
Everybody's awesome with that. Okay, I will send it.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for helping me out with this. It's just my week is next week, but I promise I will be back. I think this is my last real hectic week. I wasn't planning on the interviews down in Coastal. That got sprung on me. Yeah, I wasn't planning on going to the beach to do interviews, but life will be good. I can handle it.
That's nice.
Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I can handle a day at the beach. Maybe I'll sit and look at the water for a few hours and chill out.
Yes, that's always something great to do.
Yeah. Okay, so who wants to go first with their paper or their feedback or whatever? I don't care, y'all.
All right, so you
I'll go, Jennifer. I don't mind.
Okay, awesome.
What's crazy is, you're going to find this funny, I burned the midnight oil working. So after I got everything up this morning, I realized I didn't review your paper. I reviewed Darlene. So I had to go back and review your paper too. I'm crazy.
It's fine.
I am so crazy right now. But Marcus, I had your paper. Let me pull up my details. Let me switch screens here. Marcus review. Here we are. Okay, Marcus, I sent you your feedback from your paper. I in the task for the content, I've stated that the task was successfully aligned with the course content. Marcus's literature review was incomplete, but it appears that he's still working on that. So I just put in progress beside it. Is that correct, Marcus?
Yes, ma'am. That is.
Okay. Rubric strength, I said the strength of the task were demonstrated in the annotated bibliography, details, and research. The candidates showed and demonstrated that they completed the necessary work to find supporting documentation for PBIS and PBIS ascendants to increase positive behavior in schools. Rubric weakness, I stated that the weakness was in the formatting of the paper. Marcus, you may want to go back, and in your paper, I highlighted that section where you annotate your bibliographies. The actual citation and the review paragraph needs to be under a hanging indent. And if you just highlight the entire thing, click paragraph, and go to special hanging indent, it'll indent the whole thing for you.
Okay.
That's the only thing I saw. Leadership, I said the candidate demonstrated, let me go back up, my screen just shifted. The candidate demonstrated leadership when having the teachers share their results of their PBIS implementation, rate with other teachers, and it reveals successes of those interventions. The candidate encouraged other teachers to try to pilot this and to implement this in their classroom as well. If this pilot goes well, it looks like the candidate has approval from the principals to go ahead and proceed to implement this school-wide. I thought that was very great. Under mechanics and grammar, I stated that in your describing of the persons who are using these implementations to refrain from using the pronouns that are gender specific, like he, she, her, and change the pronouns to them, they, or their.
Okay.
I don't think we're supposed to be able to distinguish if the people we're using in our study are men or women. We should supposed to use one specific pronoun.
Okay.
Organization, I stated the task contains research-based evidences. In the APA formatting, again, I just restated that to check the formatting of your page with an annotated bibliography. And I don't think you had your header page for the task up there either.
That's all. That's what I'm always missing. I forget.
Yeah. Also add at the top of your paper the task 3 and what the prompt was we were supposed to be working on. I did not see that there either.
Okay.
Okay. That is Marcus's. And then next I had Jennifer's paper to be written while sick was great. Wrong screen. I'm coming, guys. It's early.
No problem. I'm still half asleep. It's okay.
Okay. Jennifer's paper, the content, the task is successfully aligned with the rubric. Rubric strength, I said the strength areas include research of literature to be used during POCs to help students grow in reading fluencies. She had a very detailed action plan of implementation, and it was thoroughly explained to the reader. Rubric weaknesses, Jennifer, there were 2 tables that you had inserted midway your page, and it looks like they inserted halfway through the paragraph, so it's like your paragraph is split. So
yeah, thanks for catching that. I
suggested moving those tables,
and I usually fix it. Yeah, I need to fix it.
I suggested either moving those 2 tables either prior to the paragraph starting or after the paragraph so they don't be split.
Okay.
Leadership, I said leadership is demonstrated with the candidate using research findings and implementation, implementing them into the POC, and the action plan was aligned to enhance student growth. Mechanics, I just wrote grammar and mechanics were strong, no errors found. I read through it very good and did not see any kind of grammatical mistakes. Organization, paper was well organized. Header sheet was visible. Task explanation was visible. Subheadings were visible, and information under subheadings were complete. Data charts were inserted, and everything was well found. Formatting was successfully done. Just again, check those 2 charts and move them prior to the start of the paragraph or at the end.
Okay.
Okay, that's my review.
All righty. All right, I'll go next. I had Darlene's paper. And Darlene's paper, let me pull up my stuff. Oh, that's Marcus's. Just a second. Let me find Darlene's. Oh, I think I closed it out. Just a second, y'all. I don't know what this is going to do. Oh, I can't. Okay, I can't minimize mine. Okay, so I'm going to go off the top of my head because I couldn't. I accidentally shut it, and I'm so sorry. So Darlene's paper, going off the top of my head because I couldn't print. I just did these this morning, so I didn't get to the printer. Let's see here. Darlene's paper. Her paper was, I sent everything to her. It was, I loved it. The flow of it was great. She had a lot of, her research was there that explained what was going on with her paper. Let me see, I can pull up her paper to look at it. I do have that up. So her research was strong with her paper. She had great headings. So she started out talking about mathematics, and she had some good mathematics strategies and skills in there that the team could then use. And then she had some online resources. They looked like they were really good. I kind of think I might steal some of them because they were really good, and I think the teams could benefit from them. So her, the professional learning community, that was strong when she led the community. She went over everything, and she kind of led them and then let them kind of look at what she did and how to put it in. Some areas I had that I thought maybe she could kind of make it a little stronger was with the how it's going to impact later on, you know, the impact percentages and what she's hoping to see out of that. I think if she went a little bit stronger there, it would be good. She had charts that were in there, that were included in there. She had a chart for one of the strategies and how that would look. And she had a chart for how her team was going to go back and then in the end, go back and see, you know, how this was working with the kids so that they could bring back their data to analyze it, which I thought that was wonderful to have that, you know, thought out and to have the team do that ahead of time before leaving that meeting, to have that as a takeaway. I thought that was great. And that showed great leadership that, you know, she was expecting that they go and they do implement this, and here's your chart, and this is your feedback. These are our next steps as to where we're going to go next time. So that was really strong. Marcus, I went ahead and did your paper too, because I didn't know, you know, what was. So I did your paper too, Marcus, so you have feedback for me. But I see Steven's on, so I'm going to let him go ahead because I know he was supposed to analyze your paper. So I'm going to back off. If you don't need mine, just throw it away. But I sent you one, okay?
Thank you. Okay, I'll check.
All right. And Steven, when you get your paper up, just let me know, and I'll review it for you.
Okay. All right, that'll be Marcus, I did not have the chance to review your paper just yet. Apologize for that.
Okay, you okay?
No problem. Marcus, do you want me to take the lead and do yours? That way you can have a Zoom session to put up?
Yes, ma'am. Please and thank you.
Okay, no problem. Here we go. Let me see. I have yours. I have yours saved on. So you had your 2 articles in your annotated bibliography. I felt that they were strong and they were a positive, strong choice of articles to put in there. And I loved the thing that I loved most about yours and I thought was really strong, and I wish I could get my teachers to do, was you found an expert to come in and help your team out. So I thought that was just awesome and wonderful, the way you had an expert come in to lead. But not only did you let them kind of lead and present information, but then you had an activity to follow that up with them, then the team then analyzed what that expert said to take that to the next level. So I thought your leadership was the strongest in your paper with how you did that. And I like the way you listed your resources so that you can see who the people are that are in your building that are strong, that are going to help lead that. So, you know, you're acknowledging the leadership within your building too. And I thought that was great. So I think you're off to a great start. If you can just find some online resources. And one of my wonders, I don't know if we're allowed to do this, but I wonder if you created a Google Doc for them to kind of track stuff in a Google form or Google Doc, so that everyone could see immediately like what was going on in the classrooms, so that you guys could analyze that discipline data immediately. And I don't know if that would count as an online resource if you created it. So I was just wondering what that looked like, and if that would work for this, so that you could have the online data tracking for the PBIS, and so that it would be immediately seen by everybody. Because I know sometimes only admin has control of the up-to-date data on that stuff, and the teachers don't get to see it right away.
See, and that's something I think I will, yeah, I'm going to have to look into that, because the only people who are able, like you said, is the administration, and only way I can see is if I contact our district PBIS coach. And the other teachers who are part of the team don't necessarily get to see it unless I present it to them. So I think that,
we do educators handbook, and it's the same way. Like, I can pull everybody's data, but not everybody can see everything. And I'm like, that's, it kind of defeats the purpose when you're working as a team. So my teams actually do have a Google Doc that they keep everything in. So we used, we didn't use docs, we used sheets. And so we could, share it. And then they actually go in and list the kid's name. And if they put a new one in, they can tag it in there in that spreadsheet. And that way everybody can see immediately, what it was, what that child was, what they entered it in for that day. And we can keep track of it a little bit better. So I don't know if that's an
okay. It would help with organization. So yes, thank you. Just send me an email specifically to detailing exactly how you go about it, and that way I can go ahead and start setting it up for my team.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
One here in just a little bit, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem.
All right, I will go next. I had Elaine. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. Elaine. For your content, I said the content available is incomplete, which you are aware of, but the content that is provided, your best practices and online resources is detailed well. Your rubric strength, you provide a variety of online resources that are used and explain what they are for and what each does. I'm sorry, everyone. I struggle talking. So
it's okay.
But anyway, in your best practices section, you explain how the team uses them or will use them. Rubric weaknesses, of course, there are a few sections that are missing. And I would put down the link, because I said I would suggest looking at the database that the school provides. And I put down the link to where you can go to it. You did provide how you led the PLC by having about hold on, let me see. Where did I say it? Yes, by reminding and sharing the team members what you are doing currently and the resources that are available. Grammar mechanics. The only thing I said for that one is I highlighted that you misspelled team, and I put that in the paper. That's the only grammar mechanic area that I saw, because I'm not good with that part. But organization as well, and your formatting looks nice, looks well.
Thank you, Marcus.
And I'll be getting ready to email that to you right now.
Okay, no problem.
You can go ahead, Darlene.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, my internet has been really. Okay, I had Jennifer, and I said, Jennifer, you did a great job with your bibliography. Your descriptions were very detailed and related to the need that you've identified in your paper. Your bibliography demonstrates knowledge of the best instructional practices. You included a lot of data and graphic organizers in your paper to display the data. You hit all areas, I felt, of the rubric. I just scrolled down on accident. I know you said in mine you thought that I didn't put enough detail, and I guess that's where I said, because I said in here that you may have went more in depth and included information that could be used in task 4 when they're talking about the action plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe I need to go back and look at that again, because I had just glanced over task 4. I really hadn't got into detail, but I know it said, the action plan. And I thought you had a section in your task 3 about action plans. So I thought, well, maybe, she could pull that and use that in task 4, but I'm not sure about that. But that's just not. You demonstrated leadership, as you stated, that you had researched in advance. You was informed and prepared ahead of the meeting, so you could lead the PLC team in the right direction. To choose the best instructional practices possible to show growth in the area of need. Your paper, it was great overall. It was easy to read. It made sense and had appropriate professional language. On page 7, you have, you need to change the word "and" that follows the word "weakness" and make it A-N. Make that sentence make sense. Or typo. Maybe you just added a D.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Typos. I'm typo queen.
Yeah, me too. Paper size, your headings made it clear what the reader was going to be reading about in the upcoming sections of the paper. And again, check those table placement in the middle of paragraphs. And to the best of my knowledge, your citations were correct.
Thank you.
To the best of my knowledge. Keep.
I don't know. I hope. I mean, I bought, what I did is I kind of cheated, y'all. I bought, you can go to EasyBib and you can get a subscription. I think it's like $7.99 or something. So all I do is I copy, you did it too. All I did is I copy and paste my web pages in there. And then I hit the APA thing and it just takes me through a couple of sites. I just click, and then it cites it for me. So then I just pop it up in there and I'm honestly using that. So it was through, I think it was through Peg or something that you had to go through, sign up, you just put your credit card in. And for $7.99 a month, you don't have to deal with any of the stupid citing stuff. You just go in there and it's for you. And then when I pull the article through the library, you can hit the APA thing that it'll automatically cite them if you're using the Gardner-Webb library. So
I use the same thing. If you want to use it, you can also go through Google
Docs.
If you go through Google Docs and create an add-on EasyBib Creator, and it'll download it to your Google Docs. So just type it there. What I normally do is I type it there, and then I just copy and paste it and transfer it to my Word document. So
okay,
that's awesome. Well, thank y'all for all
got
Audio.
See, you're being spoiled, Elon. They're not at my house spoiling me. They all went to the gym to go fight. So they're doing picking on me because I didn't go fight this morning. And I'm like, no, I have this thing. I can't go fight. So I'm getting out of it today. I won't have any bruises this week. I may actually be able to wear a skirt to work and not look like, the victim of a tragic accident from them beating up on me. So they're all fighting each other right now.
I'm like, yes to the cinnamon toast.
Yeah, you're being spoiled. I got coffee and then picked on for not going to go fight as they were all in their geese and heading out the door. I'm like, go fight. Who cares? All right, so we have 10 minutes left of our time. So do we need to cover anything else? What do we need to do here?
I have a Lon's paper too, and I have not finished. I have looked over it, but I have not finished writing it up. But what she has submitted so far, she's not finished.
Boy.
Look, looks good. Her annotations and her bibliography looks very thorough and addresses the need that she's identified. She's not. Yeah, actually, she uses some of the same ones that I did. The Open Up Math curriculum. Is that what you're doing at your school?
Yes, we just implemented that this year, the Open Up Math component.
Yeah, we've been doing that for like 3 years, I think, at our school. Actually, I think our school was one of the ones that helped develop that. But yes, that's a good, and the online resources are great there. So I think she's on the right track. Looks great. She just got to finish up. I'm jealous of her cinnamon.
I'm sorry, guys.
Stop. Okay. Well, before we go, let me just say that I am still working on Darlene and Marcus's doing their peer review, and also I've got my task 2 submitted. I'm not sure if it's been reviewed yet, but the biggest thing for me is that sorry.
It's okay.
I think I'm trying to like perfect my work before I submit it, and it's really rough drafts. So what I'll do is I'll submit what I have for you all to review it, so that I don't fall behind anymore.
Okay.
I will review your task 2. I didn't see it was up there. I didn't go back and go look. I'm sorry. That's on, I just didn't go back and go look. So I will review your task 2, and I'll send that out to you. And if you just send me a time, either, we can get online before our Tuesday meeting, or I can do it Monday. I can review that, and that way you'll have your Zoom link to go with it, if that's fine, for you even.
Well, for my reviews, I can record myself reviewing the papers, and I can send you all the link to that if we want a video version of me reviewing the documents.
Okay, I think it has to be a Zoom session, and both people have to be online. I think that's where we're into the issues. But I have my my 1 and 2 have already been submitted, so I'm good to go. And I went ahead and reviewed Marcus's second one, so he could go ahead and submit. So I think Marcus is good with both of his reviews right now.
Okay.
Marcus?
Yes, I am.
And he has 2 reviews now for task 3, right, Marcus?
Yes, thank you. I do.
Okay, so Marcus is good to go. We just need to make sure you have your review link, Stephen, so that you can submit. Because I don't think it matters who does what or how many we do, as long as we each get 2 reviews. So I don't care. I mean, I can do an extra review real quick. It's not that big of a deal. But sure you had your link so you could submit.
All right, that'll be great. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have anything before we leave and get back online then Tuesday at 6:30?
I have a
Next.
quick question.
Okay.
Where do we submit the Zoom links?
What
Do
I've
we
been
submit
doing, Darlene, is when Jennifer sends out the recorded Zoom link, I copy it, and then on the peer review form, you paste it on the link where it says task link right there, where it has a little like multimedia icon. You paste it there. That's what I've been doing. Okay. And then I upload that to the peer review Dropbox. Okay. Is that right, Jennifer?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, and he's hundreds on all the ones I've turned in so far. So I've first 2, and he was fine with everything I did. So that's what I've just been, when I get the link, I go ahead and do the YouTube, and then I make sure that it's one that everyone can see, and then I put it up. So it's been working out fine for me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we all good for then Tuesday at 6:30?
Tuesday at 6:30 is good.
Okay, I'll send that link out, and we can all get our case study stuff done, and then we'll worry about task 4 after that, because I think we kind of have an extra week buffer in there because we don't have to read until the next week. So it kind of gives us a little bit with task 4, and I'm thinking we all need a little bit of time to write task 4 and to get it written up, because that's the one that you have to present to leadership and everything about your action plan. So I know I'm going to need a little bit of time to actually get that written up and reflect back, because I haven't ever had to present mine, because the way the program works, I'm kind of free and independent with the grant. So I've never had to present. So I'll have to actually present mine. So this is the only thing I've been doing real time. Everything else of mine's been kind of reflect back, or I've been doing extra pieces to bring it to real time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, everyone's good.
All right.
Yeah. Bye.
Yes. See you later.
Bye.